What is going on, everybody? My name is Jesse, aka your very own one and only Chi-Town Smart, and today I have a few things I want to get off my chest. But before we get started, please do me a favor, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, and please, by all means, leave a comment. Follow me on Twitter at Chi-Town Smart. Follow me on IG. The real Chi-Town Smart. Both links are right here on my very customized and elaborate desk. I appreciate you guys so much. Today we're going to talk about Britt Baker and the match that happened at All In. We're also going to talk about the passing of Sid Vicious. This was just announced today, just moments before I hit record on this very show. So let's get into it. All In London happened yesterday. Very entertaining show. I quite enjoyed myself. I had fun watching these guys and girls perform. No one does it better than AEW when it comes to pay-per-views, man. What else can I say here? But apparently there was one match in particular that kind of rubbed the internet the wrong way, I guess. And that is the match between Britt Baker, DMD, and Mercedes Moné. Now, the match was very widely received as just not being a good match. And let's start there and just put all our cards on the table. It just was not the best match of either woman's career, okay? But apparently on social media, it seems to have turned even fan accounts of Britt Baker against her. Apparently, her performance was just so terrible that it just made people angry. It had them go to social media and have them just berate the woman, post unnecessarily rude and unneeded tweets about her. It takes two to tango, right? But did we also forget that the woman has gone through probably the scariest experience of her entire life? I know it would be for me. But it just seems that no one's taking that into consideration at all as they go out there and act like that they just that these women just ruined their lives. I mean, the backlash has been ridiculous, guys. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, but let's get into it. Britt Baker returned to Dynamite, and she gave a speech, all right? She gave a promo, giving us a few more details about what was going on with her in her road back to recovery. And she unleashed something that none of us had any clue about, all right? She says, and I quote, "For the last 10 months, I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, where's Britt? And anytime that question was asked, the answer was given, she's injured. But I think you guys know me by now to know that it would take more than a couple of herniated discs and a torn labrum to keep me away from this place. Back in November, physically, yeah, I was banged up. And mentally, I was probably running on empty. But every time I looked at myself in the mirror, I said, I'm good. Until one day, I wasn't. Because one day I started feeling really sick. And the room was spinning, my vision was blurry, and my right arm was tingling and numb, and something didn't feel right. But I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I'm good. I tried to open a bottle of water and I couldn't, and my entire right side stopped working. To sum this up, I spent a week in the hospital with a diagnosis of TIA, which is transient ischemic attack. And the doctors explained to me as an instance when your brain is not getting enough blood for that moment, and in a major warning sign for a stroke. So much that they call it a mini stroke. And at that moment, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, Britt, you are not good. And I told Tony, I need to stay home. I need to get myself right. And he said, okay, Britt, let me know when you're good. End quote. Just reading these symptoms is extremely scary. All right. I'm no stranger to scary medical procedures and incidents, but to everyone who has gone through one, it is scary. The unknown is the scariest part about it. All right. Where is it going to take you? How is it going to feel? Will it affect my livelihood? Will I even survive it? These are the kind of things that just roll through your head when you're trying to get a grasp on what's going on in your life right now. This woman not only went through this, she came out on the other side. She looks great. She managed to get herself back in the ring and try to get back to doing what she loves to do best, and which is entertain us. She had a couple of warm-up matches, all right? But what I don't think that most people understand, that ring rust is real, and it is not something that's going to necessarily just up and go away when you need it to. The stage that she had to perform at yesterday was quite literally the biggest stage of the company. And she went out there, she gave it her best. Now, was it her best performance? No. Was it Mercedes' best performance? No. But I just don't believe that the internet has gone as crazy as it has with some of the things that I'm reading. I'm reading that she is the worst wrestler ever. I saw someone literally say that he has never seen anyone more uncoordinated as this. I'm starting to think this is this guy's first wrestling match. It was not as bad as people are trying to make it out to be. And to come back from such a scary injury, to finally get back into the ring, do the best that you can, just to go out and see social media saying some of the things that they're saying, I just don't think it's fair. Now, full disclosure, yes, I've had my own personal encounters with Britt Baker, and we've discussed it. You know, we've moved on from it. Water under the bridge, all of that stuff. We're not best friends. We don't know each other like that. We don't talk to each other like that. And the thing that I want you guys to understand, I'm always going to come here and be fair. I'm always going to come here and just give my raw opinion, whether it's harsh or whether it's not. I mean, I'm just going to give it the way that it came off to me. Now, at the same time, I don't think it was such a bad match that we need to go out there and say some of the things that are being said. That's just not necessary. It was not that bad, okay? It was not good, but it was not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. It was not. Tell yourself anything you want. It just was not. I've seen much worse, all right? And I think we are completely negating the fact about everything that she went through to just mentally get the strength to get back into this ring at the stage that she did at Wembley for All In. It's not fair, guys. It's not fair. She's done better. I was one of the first people to come out and outwardly say that Britt Baker needed to work on her moveset. She needed to work on everything because it just was not working out. This was at the beginning stages of AEW. You can go out there and you can find me saying these things. It's nowhere. It's nothing hidden about it. But I'm also on record saying that you can tell that she is working on her craft. You can tell that she is out there putting in the work to improve in the ring. And that's exactly what she did. She went out there and she improved herself in the ring. Quite substantially, by the way. Now, I am going to bring up the issues. There are the locker room issues, the locker room drama, the stories that involve multiple different people. I understand that part. And maybe that's a different discussion for a different day. But I don't think that's the reason to go out and completely bash her work at All In just because of those reasons. Let's stick to the task at hand. If you don't like her just because you don't like her and you want to go out there and just badmouth her because you don't like her, that's not right. It's not right. If you don't like the match, let's hear what you didn't like about it. To say that she is the worst ever and everything like this and everything that I'm hearing on the internet, it's not necessary. It's not true. And everyone has a bad match. It happens. You name your favorite sports player in any sport, anywhere, the highest paid players, and I promise you they've all had bad days. All right? It happens, guys. It absolutely happens. Not to mention, I don't think any of them had to recover from something this serious when they made their comeback from whatever injuries they may had. Cut her some slack. Cut her some slack. I'm also on record saying I agree with some of you guys that it may not look like her heart is as into it as she once was prior to her leaving the company. I'm also on board with that. Emotionally, it just does not seem like it's hitting the same. But let's also not forget, she's also coming off of a suspension from Tony Khan, and it's probably something that she vehemently disagrees with, that weighs on your psyche. These are all things that can help contribute to an impression that you may be getting when you want to talk about someone. I just don't think everything's being considered. I don't think everyone's being fair about it. So give it a little bit of time. I don't think it's as bad as everyone is making it out to be. And let's not forget, it wasn't that long ago that everyone was out here saying how Mercedes was terrible, how she didn't deserve to be in the ring. You couldn't believe that she got signed. And now we've quickly switched all of that onto Britt Baker. How about we relax? How about we calm down? And how about we just see where this goes from here? All right? She is still recovering. She is still shaking the ring rust. Give the woman some time to get everything going. I'm sure everything will be perfectly fine. Sid Vicious has unfortunately passed away, guys. His son has said, dear friends and family, I'm deeply saddened to share my father, Sid Udy, has passed away after battling cancer for several years. He was a man of strength, kindness, and love, and his presence will be greatly missed. We appreciate your thoughts and prayers as we grieve this loss. Details for memorial service will be shared soon. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, Gunnar Udy. This is a tragic passing for anyone who was a wrestling fan in the 80s, 90s. Sid was a very prominent figure. He was a little divisive at times, but he epitomized what a professional wrestler looked like back in the 80s and 90s. He just had that look. If you can envision Sid right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He was Sid Justice. He was Sid Vicious. He was Psycho Sid. He began his career in the mid-1980s. He was in WCW. He's in WWF and E. He was well-traveled. Again, people had some opinions about Sid, man. That there's no skating around that one. People had some thoughts and opinions about Sid, his love for softball, things like that. But Sid loved this business, man. And he was a part of a lot of our childhoods as we grew up watching wrestling. And it's very sad to see him passed away. So condolences goes out to his friends and family. And that is it, guys. Thank you guys for being here for this very quick update. My name is Jesse, a.k.a. your very own one and only Shot Town Smart, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.